It's a big day. Now, I know I say it all the time. And it's always a big day when I'm out here in my studio. But I have met somebody very, very special. It was kind of a chance meeting. I got on an airplane, and I was in seat number C, and this lady was in C. But I said, listen, it's okay. I'll take D. And then the pilot said, happy birthday to Vicki Rose. And everybody clapped. And I said, and then she was sitting right next to me. That was Vicki Rose. And that's our guest today. It's going to be a great show. Hey, Vicki. How you doing?
I'm doing great, RJ. What a chance meeting.
Is that incredible or what?
Yes.
And did we not just hit it right off?
Absolutely.
Man, you must have made quite an impression on that pilot, especially being your birthday. What's the whole story? You got your lung cancer awareness ribbon.
Yes, because the pilot also announced that it was Lung Cancer Awareness Month, and that's all of November. Lung cancer, we used to have, our ribbon was clear. What do you do with a clear ribbon? So we now have the white ribbon.
There's a different color for every cancer, right?
There is.
I didn't know that.
There is. Yep.
I never knew it was
and
a white
we are
one.
the white ribbon.
Great.
So I started talking to you about lung cancer awareness.
Yeah.
And how critical it is that lung cancer is the leading cancer killer in the world.
Wow.
It has, the problem with it, it has no symptoms until you're a late stage. That's how we lose so many people. So what we want to get across today is the risk factors. If you have any of the risk factors, then you need to go and get a low-dose CT scan. As I was talking to you about this, very interestingly, the lady that was sitting in the seat in front of me on the airplane turned around and started listening. So I started leaning forward and kind of talking between the two of you two. And she, when I was finished, she said, I'm going in next week to have a low-dose CT scan. You may have saved my life.
You know, and I remember that conversation because she said she was a Marine and she had breathed a lot of bad air over there in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I love your point, too, about when you do finally get in there, you're already stage 4, stage 3, because you didn't notice nothing.
Right.
So I don't notice nothing, but I might have something. So you want me to go get a low-dose CT scan?
Yeah,
what is
that's
that?
a low-dose CAT scan.
Okay.
It's very non-invasive, less invasive than getting a mammography. Not that you can relate to that probably. You don't have to take your clothes off. It takes about 15 minutes.
Okay.
It's a very low dose. The radiation is equal to living on Earth 1 year.
Oh,
and if you have risk factors, they want you to do that scan every single year, just like a woman does a MAM every year.
What's a risk factor?
Aha.
Because I don't know.
Risk factor.
Let me see if I got one.
I'm sure you have one, so does your entire audience.
Oh,
What's the
wow.
number one?
I don't know. A cough? Oh, smoking.
Smoking. So the guidelines are if you have a 20-pack year smoking habit, then you qualify for yearly low-dose CT scans.
So that's 2 packs a month.
Well, and you know, I thought you could figure it that way
Yeah.
or figure out how many cigarettes per day.
Sure.
But it's sort of a strange way they figure it, and I think it's best to leave it to the medical profession.
I agree.
The key here is it doesn't matter if you quit 20 years ago. If you had a 20-pack year history, you need to start doing yearly CT scans or CAT scans.
Okay, well, I'm square on that. Although
Okay.
I do occasionally smoke a cigar.
Okay, so vaping counts, smoking marijuana, pipe, cigar,
Right.
anything that you inhale. So if you think that, you know, vaping is healthy and
No, I don't think
presents
so.
it. No,
I was thinking about
doesn't.
taking it up, though.
You were?
No.
Or a little marijuana here and there. I've never tried marijuana, but
I don't know. I see.
that qualifies.
Okay, what's the next one?
All right, so the number 2 is something that people don't know about. It's radon exposure, and you think, I've never had that. But do you know in Georgia you lose 8...
Radon? Did you say radon exposure?
Radon, Radon.
Never heard of it.
Oh, well, if you sell this house, it is required now that you have a radon test.
Okay.
And the radon test, you can write to your extension agency and get it. You can just do a home kit.
What is
They're
it, a
free.
gas?
It is, radon is a gas.
Okay.
People think of it in homes that have basements, but it occurs in slab homes. It can occur in the walls. It has occurred in a condominium, condo on the 11th floor. So no building is not at risk. They're all at risk.
Is there a test to find out?
So
if I
there's
got
a
any radon?
test. Yes.
Okay.
So you, like I said, you can go to write to your extension agency, get that, or you can hire a professional.
Right.
But I understand the home test kit is good enough.
Okay.
If you do have radon in your home,
Yeah, what do you
then it is fairly easy to mitigate.
Okay.
And you have to hire a professional. They really do not recommend you don't make this a DIY, do it yourself
Well,
project.
Okay, so I got it. So smoking, radon.
Yep. So in Georgia, 800 deaths a year from lung cancer due to radon.
Really?
Yes. And it's like 26,000 or something for the U.S. It's high.
Okay.
In Florida, they don't tell us the number of deaths per year, but the EPA thinks that there's like 20% of the homes. However, the EPA says 4 and under, their little measurement, it's a picocurry or something like that, is okay. But the World Health Organization says 2 and under. So I'm going to bet that maybe 40% of the homes in Florida. You can get a map online. You can see your state. But the big thing with radon gas, you're not close to neighbors here, but even if you live in a close neighborhood, if the neighbor's house was clear, doesn't mean yours will be.
Okay, what's
so
the
that's
next?
number 2.
Okay. Smoking, radon.
So number 3,
Here
and
we
this
go.
really affects the military community, is exposure to chemicals, fine particulate matters, air pollution. You know, if you're around diesel fumes because of your job, that's a biggie.
Wow.
Kind of think of the others, but
I
those
think
are
I've heard of
probably
that
the
before.
major.
Yeah.
So if you're in a workplace environment or a military environment where you've been exposed to those, you really need to talk to your doctor about getting a low-dose CT. That's the number 2 cause.
Okay.
Number 3 is genetics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if you have lung cancer in your family,
Right.
then you qualify definitely for getting a low-dose CAT
I don't think
scan.
I do, but I have to look back, you know.
Yep.
But I'm-
So that's another factor.
Okay.
The 4th one is how I got it. If you have had breast cancer and you were treated with radiation to your chest,
Right.
you could be at risk for getting lung cancer. Now, my cancer was in 1991. They used almost 6,000 rads of radiation on me.
They don't do that now, though.
Today, they use 40 to 50 rads.
Oh, my God.
But every breast cancer patient or anyone who's had radiation to their chest needs to go back in their records and find out how many rads they have had and then talk to their doctor about it. There's a 10-year latency period. So I'm wondering, I was 44, why at 54, 55, 60, that my doctors weren't saying, do you realize you're at risk for lung cancer? We should talk about doing testing. That did not happen. If you're a smoker and that's in your smoking history, they will talk to you about it. So
But not if you're not.
Not for my situation. So if you've had breast cancer especially, you need to step up and be proactive about your health. Do not assume because you filled out all that report, I've had breast cancer, blah, 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 I've had this many surgeries. You fill that all out. It just kind of gets tucked away. And
So I think I'm going to make sure I'm hearing you right. So you had breast cancer in 91. They zapped you big time.
Yep.
And 10, 15 years later, you found out you had lung cancer.
No, it wasn't that soon. They should have at 10, 15 years been talking about doing the screening.
Okay.
So I wasn't diagnosed, 3 years ago. How old am I now? I just turned 78.
26.
So yeah, 75. So
Why did you go into the doctor? I mean, what was your
Okay,
little-
so here's the strange thing.
Yeah.
This is what causes so many deaths. Lung cancer has no symptoms, like I said, till late stage.
Right.
Ironically, mine did. Actually, in 2021, I started having huge pains through my back, down to the front, and
Okay.
down my left arm.
Right.
Classic heart attack.
Right.
I actually went to Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville in May of 2021 with these huge pains. They admitted me. They did a heart cath, said you have a heart of a 40-year-old.
Nice.
Are you still in pain? No, they left. Okay, goodbye. Nobody went any further. My primary doctor did know about this appointment. Nothing was ever said, and I was oblivious. I live in Florida, but in the summer I go to Michigan, so that summer I went to Michigan. I was in 2 more emergency room hospitals,
For the same
admitted.
symptoms?
Same symptoms. All of them focused on heart. I kept saying my heart's fine. And I just ended up checking myself out. They weren't going to do anything but check heart. So took a year later, I'm in a little rural, tiny town, has a little triage ER. I go in. This time, the pains, this is a year later now, the pains were so extreme. I couldn't get my breath. I couldn't walk. I was all bent over. Looked like about a 98-year-old woman.
Dang.
And I shouldn't do that because a lot of 98-year-old women look fabulous. But
They're
anyways.
okay with it. They're okay with it.
But
They get it.
So they were just extreme, and I went in. They had to give me something for the pain. They tested me all day long. At the end of the ER doctor shift, he said, "We've never had such a healthy patient in here.
Jeez.
You are amazing." He said, "But we're going to transfer you to our mother hospital. We're going to get to the bottom of what's causing these." First time ever that was said to me. So they couldn't get me transferred right away. They were really backed up. It was a 40-mile plus ride in the ambulance, and everything was tied up. So he said, "You know what? I don't mind staying after my shift. We happen to just unwrap today a CT scanner, and the girls are dying to try it. Do you mind being our guinea pig? Because that's one of the first tests they're going to do. And
Anyway.
then they'll do others when you
Right.
get to the main hospital." Sure, fine. So I go down, do the test, get back to my room. That doctor, I can remember he looked so tall, but remember I'm laying in bed. And he said he came in and his head was hanging. His whole body was just he was.
So he knew.
He said, "I can't believe it. You have a huge mass in your left lung." Dang. So I was transferred over. They did the biopsy. Small cell lung cancer. There's 2 types of lung cancer. Non-small cell, which has, especially in recent years, they have a lot of options for treatments. Doesn't mean you can't die from non-small cell.
Right.
But, I mean, we have people in my lung cancer group with non-small cell living 17, 18, 20 years. They just get checked every year.
Right.
I have small cell,
Oh,
which
is that the worst one?
that's the absolute worst one.
Thought I read that.
Yeah, when I was diagnosed, 7% chance that I would make 5 years.
Oh.
When I had my first rounds of chemo, which the first rounds were the strongest chemo there is, plus I had concurrent radiation. I did radiation twice a day. I'm so happy.
Let me ask you, did they remove your lung?
No, I asked if they could do that, and they can't because it
Okay.
was in all my lymph nodes.
Okay.
Had already started spreading.
So how long has it been since you had that? Because
Okay.
how many years have we made it now?
Oh my gosh, I am to 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's amazing, and part of that, I've been through 2 chemos, lost my hair twice.
Beautiful hair, by the way.
Thank you. I love having hair that I can have a bad hair day.
But you're on some new drug too, right?
I am on, there was 2 new drugs.
Okay.
One is immunotherapy, which has been a game changer in so many cancers, including non-small cell.
Good.
And it's keeping people that are stage 4 totally stable for years.
Oh.
It's relatively new, so I say for years, 3 years, 4
You get an
years.
injection every month, or what do they do?
No, some of them just take a pill.
Oh, good.
Now, my immunotherapy was an infusion.
Okay.
And
That's like an IV for a while or something?
yes, it's just
Okay.
like getting your chemo treatments. Yeah, you
Yeah, I
have
don't
to
know
go
much
in.
about all that stuff. I think
Yeah.
I had an infusion for neuropathy one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my treatments cause neuropathy.
Oh, one thing leads to another, doesn't it?
I
This
know.
stuff.
There's always side effects.
Gosh.
So,
So
and
you've been-
it is from the treatments of these side effects. But
Okay.
so, anyways, but the immunotherapy, it helps some small cell
Yeah.
lung cancer
Yeah.
patients, but it doesn't. It isn't.
It's not a cure-all end
It's
all.
not expected.
Okay.
And for me, it either lasted 9 months or the after effects of my chemo lasted that long.
Right.
It lasted 9 months.
Right.
And then, fortunately, can I say a company name?
Sure.
Amgen came out. They got an early approval for a drug that they had been researching called tarlatamab.
Okay.
Now that it's out commercially, they call it Imdeltra.
Okay.
I don't know why
Love
they
these
give
names,
two
you know?
names. I know. I guess they think people will run out and
Yeah.
ask for Imdeltra,
I
right?
think they think people are going to go to the doctor and say, "Give me in whatever." And
Yeah, right.
The doctor
right.
goes, "Okay."
But I don't know, because the only people that would want it would be people in my situation. So the Imdeltra is only for small cell lung cancer
Okay,
patients.
good.
And during clinical trials, the average was 10.8 months that it worked. With small cell, it's always going to come back. At
Really?
least at this point, all the treatments can just buy you a matter of months. Now, this is, 10.8 is good, to 9 months. But we know I'm a math major. Averages have highs and lows, so
Sure.
I'm just going to have to be one of those high people. Plus, with early approval, I'm really in the test case.
Oh, I see.
And so
you're doing something for somebody else, probably.
well, and I could last much longer than their average
Right.
because, they had a limited, I
Right.
don't know,
Group of people
800
they could-
people.
right,
And
that's
they
their test.
tested it. Maybe they didn't test it, beyond a year. I don't know how long.
Well, I got to tell you, and one thing that you need to know is you will never leave us because you are on this show.
I
And
love it.
the
I
show will
love
never-
those hooks.
The show will never go away.
There we
and
go.
People will always be able to look back at the 4 or 5 things that cause it. How do you feel now? How are you feeling today? Because you look pretty spry.
Well, this treatment has allowed me to be me.
Oh,
And it's been amazing. I've been able to do volunteer work in the nursing home.
nice.
I've been able to teach one of my favorite activities, stand-up paddleboard.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I can't get on a paddleboard.
I'll get you out there. I'm a pretty good teacher.
I imagine you are, but
And,
my balance is shaky.
So, and I've been able to do advocacy like this and hopefully save other people's lives, because with all cancers, early diagnosis, if you get diagnosed at a stage 1,
Right.
they can take out a lobe
Okay.
and do chemo. Our founder and co-director of the organization I belong to, livelung.org, was diagnosed accidentally. She had some sort of lymph node in her neck that had swollen, and they decided to do a CT test, and it caught part of her lung, and they said, there's something in there, let's do a CT of your lung. And so she was able to have surgery, 1 round of chemo, and she's around 17 years later. One thing I want to just do as a little aside, X-rays will not detect if you have lung cancer.
Okay.
They would detect if you have pneumonia,
Right.
fluid on your lung.
CT scan.
You have to have the CAT scan
Okay.
or CT.
Okay.
So
I think I've had a couple of those. They're painless. I mean, you just
they're
sit and lay there.
painless. They take 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Don't have to take your clothes off.
Right.
It's even better than a mammography.
Imagine.
Yeah.
So,
So
what's a message you want to get? I really realize the big message is probably get scanned.
right, if you have any risk factors,
we discussed them all.
scanned. And insurance will pay for it if you have a risk factor. But if you think you have a risk factor and you don't have insurance, then you get that CT scan and you look to some other ways to pay for it if you're not able to pay for it out of pocket.
Especially if you have some of these things you talked about.
Because if you ignore it,
Right.
it's going to cost you a lot more money.
What's the name of this?
So this actually is a white ribbon pop project. And I wish I know the gal, Heidi and her husband. I need to ask who that is. I have not met them, but I got this through the organization I belong to, livelun.org. It is a phenomenal organization. It was started sort of grassroots with Dusty Donaldson and Lynn Abbott McLeod. They were paying for it out of their pocket. Oh, wow. They had about 10 people of all types of lung cancer, and they would have luncheon meetings at a restaurant, and they would bring in speakers. They might have researchers. They might have other oncologists from around the U.S., which gives you a good idea that different oncologists do handle when you have lung cancer a little differently.
Right.
They're basically the same, but they may do it a little differently. We get palliative care doctors. We get counselors.
Well, I'm gonna make sure that we have the link to all this stuff in this show.
Thank you.
So people can go to there and look all these things up.
And when I met you, I was at the Lung Cancer Summit.
Right.
We have, that was for all lung cancers. So we get to actually, we see each other once a month virtually. But that little Hollywood tiny squares, you don't get to know a person totally. Right. So the fact that we get to see each other and we can talk about what we're going through and they understand, I can tell you for sure, 90% at least of the people just can't get it.
Right.
And so you don't want to talk to people. Nobody wants to hear about all your little problems.
Right.
So, but they don't get how, sometimes I feel, especially for small cell, like there's this huge grand piano hanging over our heads. And with each treatment that you get, and you keep going down the road and you wonder, okay, so that rope is gone, and how many ropes are really holding on. It's a terrible vision, but I'm a real vision person.
Right.
And I got a wonderful vision at that summit. The counselor, her name is Lisa Rainwater, and she works with counseling with lung cancer patients. So she's very aware of what we're going through. And she was a vision person, and she showed us a picture of a head-on shot of a buffalo coming through like a sandstorm. And she said most animals turn tail and run from the storm. They try to outrun it. And they're always moving away from the problem. The buffalo meets it head-on and knows that the only way to deal with the problem is to go through it and get to the other side. I love that image. I actually have an image I printed off. I chose a white.
We'll put it in the show. I'll put it in the show.
Okay, I will show you. I actually chose to do a white buffalo. They're very rare, and I have a rare cancer. I'm a rare person. It is a beautiful image, and I have never gotten down. I've never let numbers are just numbers, but I'll tell you, a month before the show, I took a nosedive. And that Lisa Rainwater with her talk, her voice was so soothing. I just started letting emotions come out. And it really has been a turnaround. I'm sort of back to my old self, but I realize that I'm probably to a point that I will need to start talking to a counselor. But up until now, it's been, just head on. And the big thing is that I refuse to ruin this wonderful day that I have with all of you and all of your people who watch your program. For something that might happen tomorrow, the next day, next year.
And it's funny because it might be tomorrow for me too. It might be tomorrow for me too. Nobody really knows.
No, and we've always known that. You live for today.
Right.
You don't worry about the tomorrows.
Sure.
You plan, but you don't worry. But it's not real until you have something like this.
Yeah, that's a little bit different because there is a time on that. You don't know what it is, but there's
people
a time.
talk about, man said, I went to the refrigerator and I pulled out the orange juice and saw the expiration date and said, I have an expiration date. You know, people used to ask, do you want to know when the end is coming? And I always said no. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Some people said
yes. Would it
yes.
change the way you go through the day?
Well, some people that say yes say, well, I would just spend all my money before it happened. Well, that'd be nice, but I'd never want to know when the end date was. And this kind of makes it a little more real.
I tell you, like we said, all these things happen for a reason. You were in my seat. I took your seat. We talked. The lady turned around. I came home. I gave you my card.
Yes,
and I said,
did.
And I was very shocked. I mean, you texted or messaged or Facebooked or something. You got a hold of me right away.
I did.
You used technology. And then we've been working on this. It was like 2 weeks ago we were flying.
Yep.
And now Jonathan brings you up.
Yep.
Because I didn't want you to have to go through all that. And he'll take you home today. But I was bound and determined. Because when I get that way, I'm getting my way.
Good.
So I'm going to get you on the show because I wanted you to get the message out.
Absolutely.
And you have done a fantastic job today,
Thank
Vicki.
you.
And
Thank you.
I appreciate it so much.
And I hope with your listeners
that
we have reached at least one and hopefully many.
Yeah.
And that they don't have to go through what I and several others are going through. Because of that warning system that I got, I was initially stage 3B, and then it went to my brain, so I became stage 4.
Right.
So, I'm one lucky person. Can't tell it went to my brain, can you?
But you're with us now.
Yes.
It's been an honor and a privilege to have you to my home. And if you need anything, you let me know because I can still make this world rotate.
Thank you, RJ. This has been fabulous.